families that go through their internal conflicts, domestic violence, the increase of number of divorces that are happening all across. Children of divorces, what do they go through? I really look at a few children and the kind of suffering that they go through because their parents decided to go through some sort of issue that they couldn't solve, but the child has to go through the trauma all throughout without any of his fault.
Yeah, because see, most people don't think when they are actually getting married, right? Like I said, it's an animal need, right? And it's
or societal need, or almost like if you're not married, you're looked at differently. That is, kaise nahi hue? There is a certain age within which you want to get married.
Right. So in that desperation, obviously in desperation, you will generally make mistakes because people are not trained to act in desperation. And then that's exactly, and then you naturally have a child, and then the child is not raised properly, or raised with thought. So there is no thought anywhere, and the moment there is no thought, there is bound to be disaster. It's just going to get worse and worse.
And I want to continue to have a conversation on this because I would really believe that there are a lot of children out there who go through this, who go through watching their parents fight every day at home.
Okay.
May that be domestic violence from one side to the other. May that be the father against the mother, mother against the father, daily fights at home. The child really suffers, and this is the same child that later on grows up and has a different view about having children. How does this child cope up who has to see their parents fight every day?
I mean, therapy is a good way, but basically this child has to look at life as it is, not as, it has been shown to him, and try and make the exact opposite. In the sense of a lot of children say, look, I'm not going to raise my child the way that I was raised. No, you must look at that you suffered, right? You cannot guarantee that your child is not going to suffer. So first, don't have a child. First, just stop the generational trauma. And from there, therapy, talking with friends, creating your own community. I think that's the only way we can.
I think it's an absolute crime that parents put their children through when they going through their own marital problems.
Right.
Has involved their child into it also. I've seen it myself in my own life. I grew up seeing such domestic violence at home. A lot of people turn around and say these are the children who grow up to be antisocial. These are the kids who grow up to be, aggressive. These are the children who have seen life who become bitter towards life. Is that true?
It's not necessarily true. See, it's about how you see it.
How we see it, yeah. How we as individuals go ahead and take it. Right. I took it on my stride. I turned out to be all right. But a lot of my other friends didn't turn out to be all right, man. Yeah, a lot of kids who get into drugs, a lot of kids who get into violence and stuff like that is because they are watching their parents do the same at home. That is one section within the society that not only the society needs to look into, but there needs to be some sort of a law against
regulation. Yes, there needs to be. I agree. I've always said that is why I said that there needs to be counseling. There needs to be some sort of thought, but there is zero thought. Because the moment you put thought, most children disappear. Right? Most people are not going to have children. And then that's where all of society collapses, and they're not ready for that. They're not interested in that.
Yeah, true. But we patronize parents. We, as a society, look at parents as flawless. Yeah. Parents can never be wrong. That's what they're told.
I think Manoj Bajpayee was saying, माँ बाप बच्चे पैदा करते तो उनको लगता है PhD कर लिया.
Huh?
So that is so true, and this just means it's like we put him in this of a guru. Oh, he has children. Finish. That's it now.
Parents can be wrong.
All the time. All the time. I don't understand why they pedestalize parents, but it makes sense from a social point of view, because once you've put him in such a position of slavery that you have to justify that slavery, and that's why they pedestalize them. Okay, ye de denge, aap kaam karo hamare liye, but we'll put you on a pedestal, that kind of thing.
Yeah, because come to think of it, if a child's failure or a human's failure should be traced back to their parents, they should be held responsible for what their children turned out to be. You can't suddenly then turn around and say that he as an individual went on to become a terrorist, went on to become an antisocial person. When you can take the credit of your child being an engineer, a doctor, कि मैंने पढ़ा लिखा के उसको यहाँ तक के पहुँचाया है.
Correct. You should be able to take the exact opposite.
Yeah, they should be put under the scanner.
Absolutely.
And parents should be actually responsible towards what their children turned out to be.
I agree. I've always thought that, the parents of the ones who do the most heinous crimes should be looked into and punished in some way.